And let's move on now and talk about the National Basketball Association. The NBA playoffs are still hotting up, and we had one game early this morning, last night, depending on where you're watching it from, and it was the matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Washington Wizards. It ended 123-101 in favor of the Celtics. So they lead the semifinal series in that Eastern Conference 3-2. Cecilia, this one...
We're going to see Game 7.
Yeah, you said it already. I mean, it looks like we've seen a Game 7, right?
We're going to see Game 7.
Interesting game, very interesting game. It ended up, being a blowout.
Yeah.
If you want to, see the margin.
I mean, you can. 22 points, so that's huge.
Yeah, that's a blowout. Avery Bradley scored a playoff career high, 29 points, and the Boston Celtics won that game. Al Horford also added 19 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. Isaiah Thomas, he added 18 points and 9 assists. But the man of the day of the night was Avery Bradley. 30 minutes to play, 29 points, 6 rebounds and 3 assists. It was a very interesting, approach from the Wizards, because what they decided to do was to make sure they were not beaten by Isaiah Thomas. And what happened?
Someone else
stepped up. That's team sport for you. Sometimes coaches go for this approach where, okay, the star player is not going to beat us. We'll let any other player on that roster beat us, but not the star player. And Avery Bradley stepped up. Al Horford stepped up as well, too. And that's why, they're in the driving seat. Yeah. Really. But opportunity, the playoffs. Exactly, yeah. It returns to Washington. That's Game 6 on Friday night. So the Wizards will look to equal that series, and it goes to a Game 7. It's really exciting. This is a lot more exciting than we saw between the Cavs and the Raptors and the Warriors and the Jazz.
Just boring.
Yeah, a bit boring. I agree with you. Let's move on now. Cecilia.
All right, now talk about Governor Sergio Garcia. He returns. The last time I actually saw him was at the Santiago Bernabeu when he actually, he was giving that ovation.
Ceremonial kickoff.
90,000 people, be able to do that ceremonial kickoff in one of the biggest. Should we use the word one of the biggest, or rather the biggest football events? Right?
Correct.
It's the biggest.
Correct.
Classico, you agree?
Surely.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we can debate that all day long. I mean, if you're from the UK, you might say it's Celtic and Rangers, and you might say it's United. Yeah, but it is debatable. But the El Clasico, we all know, worldwide, in terms of worldwide status, it is arguably the biggest. And yeah, it's been away. It's been on a very long break, but he's back now at Sergio Garcia US Open Masters, and it's all about the Players' Championship. We talked about the other lads yesterday, and we said this is where the best golfers, look forward to playing as well, because it's like the unofficial fifth major, right? Yeah, apart from the ones that we know. So it's going to be very competitive, no doubt, because all the golfers are there, all of them, absolutely. Jordan Spieth, Dustin Johnson. We talked about Rory McIlroy yesterday, Justin Thomas. So it's going to be a very, very interesting one.
It is, and for Sergio Garcia, he's really looking forward to the championship, and also had to relive the experience he had while he was away from golf for 4 weeks after winning the Green Jackets.
There's so many great things that have happened since Sunday at Augusta. But, the support from fans and, supporters and everyone around the world has been amazing. But for me, what is meant the most, it's to see the reaction from the players, towards me, and how happy, other than a couple, how happy they all have been. And, well, it's true. I'm not going to lie. But, they've been so happy for me to get my first major and winning the Masters. And, that to me, it shows me a lot. It shows me how much my fellow players respect me and care about me. And, it's something that, you can't fake. So that's awesome. Well, the coolest thing would be the kickoff at El Clasico, for sure. That was one of the most amazing experiences I've had, and I've been very fortunate. I was telling Rory and some of the other guys, I've been very fortunate to have amazing cheers and 15, 20,000 people chanting my name at Augusta or Ryder Cups or something like that, and it's unbelievable, or at British Open, something like that. And it's unbelievable, but to walk on, what I think is the best stadium in the world, soccer stadium in the world, at the Bernabeu, and in a Clásico against Barcelona, which is probably the biggest football game that exists in this world. And to have 90,000 people chanting your name, that was extremely special, and I was nervous. Yeah, and I was only kicking the ball 15 yards. So, yeah, that was very unique, and something that, with many things that happened at Augusta and everything, that I will never forget.
Right, he's reliving his experience, what he experienced at the Santiago Bernabeu. You know what it means for about 90,000 people to start chanting your name because you won the green jacket. Well, it was a good one for him. Good
definitely one of the the feel-good stories on the PGA Tour this year. I mean, 73 times of trying.
Finally, just don't give up.
They never give up.
Keep trying.
Sportsmen are supposed to be that way. That's the kind of spirit, and they're supposed to actually possess. So
but sometimes it can be very, very difficult, because he actually talked about that. He got up to a point when he just wasn't good enough. He always been runner-up. He always play second fiddle and all that. He talked about how himself and Tiger Woods, he was runner-up to him first time, thinking, okay, the next time is going to be his turn, but then it just didn't come. So he almost gave up, but somehow
you just have to
second step up and said, okay, something will have to come out.
Exactly. I mean, growing up, watching Tiger, and there was this, the way they built the rivalry up between Tiger Woods and Sergio Garcia. And you check the numbers, and Tiger Woods won multiple majors, and Sergio Garcia has not won anything. I just wondered, what was the rivalry all about? Yeah, but he's been a very good
because
player.
He actually gave Tiger Woods the push,
Yeah, they gave him a push.
The edge, that
numbers-wise
wasn't there. It wasn't like the Ronaldo and Messi that we had. It wasn't very close at all. The gap was wide. But then whenever they're competing, you know that he's having a very good competitor. That's what he was.
Yeah, I remember those days very well.
It's no longer that.
It's no longer that. Just won one. And, so congratulations. We'll see how it performs.
Might come.
You never can tell. This might actually be a catalyst now to Sergio Garcia, going on to win more majors. We'll find out.
It might just be.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, something's going on in FIFA. We know the Congress is already on the way. It's been declared open by FIFA President himself, Gianni Infantino. And of course, you also have the Bahrain Sheikh also, declaring it's open alongside him. But a lot of issues will obviously be discussed. Just on Wednesday here, we had that it's been rectified that Africa will obviously have the 9 slots that we talked about earlier. But then it's official, it's going to have it. But then another issue is the fact that the FIFA ethics investigator and, of course, the judge, they've been dismissed, they've been dismissed. And people are saying that it might just be detrimental to the organization because they have a lot of issues they are actually investigating at this time, so it wasn't really needed.
Okay, this is a very, these guys have come out, the former judge as well as the former FIFA ethics investigator. His name is Cornell Bobley. And basically what they're saying is that when you remove us now from this post now, what's going to happen to the ongoing investigations that we started, and they feel it's going to affect those investigations. It's very interesting. We'll see how this one pans out. But then FIFA President Gianni Infantino will be explaining why they made that decision later today. Let's go on a quick break now. When we come back, we'll be talking about the Nigerian Women's League.